Hello everyone and welcome back to A Couple Books. This is Couple as per usual. Guys, I finished my grad school papers. They're all in. They're all turned in. It is done. I am now entering my second semester of grad school after this week. So I'm on spring break now, people. So that means that I am finally going to be able to get back to a normal recording schedule. So please be tuned. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and comment down below. I will be responding to comments again. I've always read them all. Videos will start going up as per usual again. Everything's going to return to normal now that everything's in. So fingers crossed it all turned out well and that I got good grades. I only wrote like a miniature novel basically between all those papers. Oh my gosh, it was so many. But today it is the end of February. It's March. Yeah. Wow. Where did the year go? I don't know. Someone tell me because I have no clue where it went. But that means that we are going to do a wrap up. This is going to be a very short wrap up video because I only got to read 5 books this month because somebody whose name starts with a K and ends in an L was writing grad school papers all month. But besides the point, let us get into this month's wrap up. Nice short and sweet video to get us back into the roll of things. And I am super excited to be active and once again posting as much as I can. So excited. Love everyone's support as always. Let us get going. So the first book I have for you guys today is going to be The Knife of Never Letting Go by Patrick Ness. This is the first book in the Chaos Walking series. Yeah, Chaos Walking, yeah. I already did a full review on this book. I'll be sure to link it down below. Be sure to check it out. I enjoyed this book a lot. I thought it was really good. It was one of my first YA forages in a while. I've kind of left YA behind, but I'm back into it. So this is one of my first YA forages in a few years. I really enjoyed it. It was also one of my sci-fi books that I'm trying to get more into the genre for. Was that a couple? Was that English? I don't know. I almost said is that couple. I don't know either. There's a lot of questions happening right now, people. A lot of things. What is this hand movement that's going on? I apologize sincerely. But anyways, I read this book. I really enjoyed it. It is sci-fi because I wanted to read more sci-fi this year. So I got YA covered. I got sci-fi covered with this book. I overall really enjoyed it. What did I love about this book? Really quickly, I really enjoyed the story. I really enjoyed how the author, Patrick Ness, built up the world. He didn't kind of drop you into it in the traditional way with an overwhelming amount of information. He kind of built upon layers as he told his story and built the world up around him. So the world building was excellent. The story was really good. The mystery was there. I really enjoyed the mystery and the kind of commentary on society while there was the whole overall mystery and action thriller stuff going on. I say action thriller because this book was non-stop. Like it was go, 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 go. The only weakness I really felt about it was I didn't love the characters. But for those who do not know, this book basically follows our main character, Tom, something with the T, and he is growing up in this town named Prestostown. In this town named Prestostown, everyone can hear everyone's thoughts, and so basically if you think anything, everyone around you can hear it. In addition to that, the reason that they are all afflicted with this weird hearing thoughts, like superpower, is because there was this virus that was released by some creatures that lived near the town, and this virus killed off all the women in the town and a lot of the men in the town, and everyone that was left alive was able to hear each other's thoughts. That's where we get started off with. I don't want to say much more because the joy of reading this book is not knowing what's going on, to be honest with you. So go into it blind. I highly recommend doing so that way. I don't think you'll be disappointed. I really enjoyed it. Next book. I finally finished Queen of Sorrow by Sarah Beth Durst. This is the final book in the Queens of Renthia series. The first one is Queen of Blood, second one is The Reluctant Queen, and the third one is Queen of Sorrow. I have a lot of strong opinions about this series. I loved the first book. I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed it actually, and I really love the world. So for those of you who don't know, because it's the last book in the series, it's kind of hard to not do spoiler talk about it, so we're gonna work our way forward without saying things that might be a spoiler. But basically in this world, the humans of this world basically live in various climates, and they're broken down, these climates, into kingdoms. So there's like the foresty area, there's the mountainy area, there's like the cold place, like it's very Avatar-y. And in these lands, the spirits, or they call it the like creatures of this land, are all like spirits of the land itself. So, for example, there's water spirits, air spirits, tree spirits, ground spirits, etc. Very, once again, Avatar-y. And these spirits basically are linked to the land themselves. And they help build up the land, they help keep it like livable. They help make sure that everything grows right. They're very, very helpful for sustaining the environment, if that makes sense. So like, because there's a tree spirit, that means that there's a tree somewhere growing. And then in addition to that, in this world, certain women, not all women, certain women have the ability to control these spirits, meaning that they have the ability to tell them to grow something, tell them to go somewhere else, a variety of powers and control. Basically, they just gain the ability to command them to do specific actions. The other thing that's really interesting about this world is that the spirits actually hate the humans, and these spirits really want to kill all the humans. And the only way the humans are able to survive and live near these spirits, which these spirits are everywhere, so they don't have an option, they have to live with the spirits. The only way that they're able to survive this is by living underneath the rule of a queen. This queen is the most powerful woman who has the most control over all the spirits, and she basically keeps them in check and keeps them from killing people. So in the first book, we follow a lovely little girl who is training to become an heir. An heir is basically a woman of power who possesses the power, who is trained in case the queen ever dies, in which case there needs to be an heir, someone ready to take up the throne immediately so that the spirits don't start killing everybody the second that she dies. And so they train a whole bunch of heirs to be there and ready to basically take control the second that the queen drops dead. And so we follow our main character's journey as she learns how to control her powers. I really love this series. I really love the first book very much so. Second book I had a few issues with, and the third book I also had issues with, mostly because of the secondary character that's introduced in the second and third book. I really did not like her. Some people might love her, in which case you're going to love the series. I have very strong, lukewarm feelings towards the series because I really did not like the second primary character that gets introduced in the second book. And so I got very strong opinions about this book, and I thought that the ending was very satisfying for what we were given. And overall, I would recommend picking up the first book at the very least. I don't know if you really need to pick up the second or third book, if I'm going to be honest with you guys. So that is Queens of Renthia, third book, The Queen of Sorrow. There we go. Next book. I read The Deepest Blue by Beth Durst. This is a standalone set in the same world as the Queen of Renthia series, so still the whole spirit thing applies here, except in this case, instead of being in the foresty kingdom that we see the Queens of Renthia series take place in, we are in a different kingdom this time, and this one is more water-based, and it's a whole bunch of people who live on a whole bunch of islands, and the primary spirits that they deal with are water spirits. Once again, you have a queen, you have heirs, that kind of stuff. The only difference is that while in the previous series, the heirs were trained up to basically master their powers and then sit and wait for the time in which they were needed, and the queen died. In this book, it's a little more intense. Basically, if you possess any kind of power, you have a choice between choosing to join basically this police force of women who are empowered, and these women basically go around policing everybody. Unfortunately though, if they choose this route and if they manifest powers and they choose to take this route, then they have to remove their family name and basically forsake their past lives. They can't have any connection with their family, and they have to cover their face so no one knows who they are. The second route, which is obviously probably a better route, would be to go to the island of testing. This is an island that is off the coast of the capital island, and this island is basically where they send all heirs who want, or all women of power who want to become official heirs and don't want to join the police force. They want to basically become queens in waiting. And this test is extremely difficult, and a lot of potential heirs, I should say, die. And it's really nasty, and basically we meet this girl who is kind of hiding her powers because she doesn't want to have to be forced to choose between forsaking her family, forsaking her name, and possibly dying on this island of testing. So she's kind of opting into staying incognito, which is what most of the women who possess powers do. Unfortunately, obviously, it's his book, so she gets discovered. And at which point she has to choose between joining the police force or choosing to go to the island of testing. This was amazing. I actually really enjoyed it. I really love the world that Beth Durst wrote in the Queens of Renthia series, and I really loved being in that world. I was really disappointed by the second two books in the series, but this book was really, really good. It's kind of like a Moana plus Hunger Games vibe going on in this book. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was excellent. I really was into the story. I was into the characters. Like, there was really not much in this book that I hated. Overall, highly recommend it for especially those who are into, like, you know, like Avatar, Hunger Games, Moana, Islandy, like stuff, pick this book up. I highly recommend it. I thought it was really good. For the last 2 books, I'm not going to waste anybody's time because I did an intense review on these books, but I reread Ready Player One and I read Ready Player Two. You guys know my opinions on these because I basically did a video about this and how I think Ready Player Two can be improved. I really didn't like this book. I almost DNF'd it. Really, honestly, if I didn't have a BookTube channel, I would have DNF'd it. But I wanted to push through because I wanted to see what the deal was, and I hated it. Did not like it. The first 100 pages are utter trash. The ending is trash. The middle part is a little bit slightly above trash. And the overall story is just subpar at best. This is an amazing book. I love this book. I still love this book. I reread it. I really still enjoy it. This is still one of my all-time favorite sci-fi lit RPG books. This is not what Ernest Cline's best. And I'm sorry, Ernest Cline. I see what you're going for, but honestly, you should have just written a different book, man, because I actually liked Armada. I know a lot of people didn't. I really enjoyed Armada. I think Ernest Cline has great ideas, and I think that he just kind of built off the hype of the first book, and that was a mistake in my personal opinion because I just think that he didn't have enough to write about. I enjoyed the antagonists in this book, and I enjoyed the stakes that were involved, but I hated the characters. I hated the first 100 pages, as I've said, and I hated the ending. So really, there's not much to go for. If you guys want more in depth and how I think it can be improved, be sure to check out my other video where I go through both of these books. But this book is still amazing. For anyone who's got like an obsession with 80s culture or 80s music or anything, I think you'd enjoy this book. I really loved it. And then even if you don't, the storyline's actually super interesting even by itself because I try to be more analytical when I read this. A great book, really. But no. So those are the 5 books I was able to get through this month. Thank you guys so much for your guys' patience this last month. It was a long month. It was a hard month, but we got through it together, people. So apologies as I get back into the groove of things beforehand, and I'll probably say it a few more times. But just wanted to say thank you guys so much, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys wouldn't mind going downstairs into the comment section, commenting if any of these books are books you've read and enjoyed. What are your thoughts on Ready Player 2? Have you picked up Coin to Rent yet? Let me know what your thoughts are on these books. And in addition, while you're down there, why don't you guys like and subscribe if you have not yet done so. I would appreciate the support so much. And thank you guys so much for everything. With that being said, this is good night for me, and it is, I don't know what, it's sometime in the day for you. There's 24 hours to choose from, so I'm sure one of them applies to you guys. But have a wonderful rest of your evening, day, time, I don't know, one of those. Bye!